York, yes, it snowed. Got a lot of snow. I was supposed to train today, and people said, stay home. And I'm like, but I'm trying to get you in shape. And they're like, stay home. So I stayed home, and productive day. Football, Super Bowl, LX in Santa Clara is coming up in 2 weeks from yesterday. Patriots with their 12th Super Bowl appearance. Seahawks will be going to their fourth, where they are, yeah, 1-2. They should be 2-1, but that's a story for another day. I've talked about it enough with one Mr. Pete Carroll screwing that one up with not Megatron, and that was a total disaster. So that's over with. I'm not going to talk about it. What I'm going to talk about is the Pro Bowl used to be something cool. It used to be in Hawaii. I went to a game one year in Hawaii. We were leaving for our flight, but we went to the game, left a little early. I could have watched the whole goddamn game. Tickets were very easy to get. Now they have the Pro Bowl games, which aren't even on a Sunday. They are going to be Tuesday, February 3rd at 8 p.m. with Jerry Rice and who are the Pro Bowl captains? Is it Steve Young and Pro Bowl games? I like it better when it was the Manning brothers, but this year it's with yes, Jerry Rice and Steve Young. And just added to the team this year for the AFC, one Shedeur Sanders is the first rookie fifth-round pick since Puka Nacua to be selected to the Pro Bowl. In 8 games this year, he had a 56.6 completion percentage. Shedeur Sanders, 1,400 passing yards, 169 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 68.1 passer rating. And I think I called him Nick Patino, and someone on TikTok said, hey, I didn't know, so Nick Benito, I apologize. I butchered your name, and that's a mistake, but mistakes are made, and you learn from them, and you move on. So, yes, Shedeur Sanders is going to be playing in the Pro Bowl games on Tuesday, February 3rd. And I don't care, but I just think it's amazing. And they said it's been ruined since you call it the Pro Bowl games where they play a flag football game. Listen, I don't want to get anybody hurt, and I don't mind it, but they have to make it during the week of Super Bowl week. I mean, that's dumb. That's really dumb. I don't like it. Good thing I'm not in charge of it. All right. Now, to the games yesterday. Broncos, Seahawks. Broncos have been 4-0 against the Pats in Denver. That is done. My friend Tony Hart said maybe he'll pull a Hostetler. The 16th AFC Championship game for Pats ties the Steelers, and they were looking for the 12th Super Bowl appearance for the Pats. Benito, 14 sacks, led the team in the regular season, and it was fun. It was cold. Perfect conditions, nice outside. May on the road this year, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jarrett Stidham first start in 749 days, first postseason start, and he had been 1-3 in his previous 4 starts with the Raiders and the Broncos. And the Pats defense had allowed 1 touchdown this whole postseason. So you got that going. May 16-3 with a 70.6 completion percentage, including playoffs, 4,841 yards, 35 touchdowns, including playoffs. Against the Blitz, going into the AFC Championship game, he'd been 17-0, 70 touchdowns, no interceptions, 68.9 completion percentage. Phenomenal season this year. Okay. Pats, 28% third down conversion this postseason. And the Mims for the Broncos had the most return yards this year in the NFL. So, as I said, Stidham came in. They'd been 4-0 against the Patriots all time in postseason games. Mims in the divisional game against the Bills had 8 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. In 27 possessions, the Pats had allowed 1 touchdown going into the game. Mims on the first drive, 52-yard bomb. Bam, sudden 6-yard touchdown, 7-0. So you're thinking, holy shit, it's working. So they're up 7-0. Things are looking good. Pats 8-0 road record, tied for the best. Vrabel's tied with George Seifert, 8-0, which was the record for going 8-0 on the road in a season. But then again, didn't the Pats also go 8-0 in their 16-0 season? It's tied for the best, 8-0. Other teams have done it. And no team has gone 9-0 on the road in a season, including postseason. Pats, 28.8 points per game. most since 2015 with Josh McDaniels when they lost the AFC Championship game to the Broncos with Peyton Manning, who ended up winning the Super Bowl over the Panthers 24-10, which is the only Super Bowl that Drake May ever went to because he grew up a Panthers fan. They drove out to Santa Clara, didn't have tickets, got tickets. That's the only Super Bowl he ever been to before this one 10 years ago. Surtain made a great pass defense on Butte. It's 7-0. Things are looking good. Next gen stats, the 52-yard pass from Stidham to Mims traveled 41 yards downfield. Longest completion by air yards by a Broncos quarterback this season. So you're thinking, hey, Bo Nix is out. You saw him up in one of the suites. He's watching, but he can't be there. And, it happens. So Broncos play selection divisional round versus the Bills. 46 pass, 12 rushes by Nix, 10 rushes by running backs a season low. They came out of the gate. They were running a lot. R.J. Harvey was getting a lot of Spillane went out, which would have been a big loss. He came back in, dealing with ankle issues. He came back in. Sudden 3rd and 9, good throw, but couldn't pull it in on a nice pass by Stidham. Still 7-0, 2:20 left. And Q Robinson, the rookie from Bama, had a sack for the Broncos. He came in with a half a sack in the season, got his first full sack. He'd been a healthy scratch versus the Bills, active for the 7th time this season. Thank you, Luka Evans, for that one. So guys are contributing. Things are happening. You're thinking, okay, this day could happen. Broncos D came to play, delayed draw by Broncos, like their play calling. I like 7 rushes for Harvey, 10 passes for Stidham, so there's a good balance. In offense for 3 years, Stidham already 23 plays for the Broncos, 119 yards, 7 first downs. The Pats, 12 plays, 21 yards, 1 first down. So they should be dominating, right? They're 7-0. Okay. And then 4th and 1, Broncos. They've been 9 for 15 this year, 4th and short, 1 through 3 yards. They're up 7-0. They go for it on 4th and 1, and they make Stidham throw a pass. It was an RPO. I don't know. Whatever it was, it was a play that someone said, did he think he had Drew Brees behind center? Did he think, Sean Payton, big fuck up. You left points on the board. And that, to me, is bad. I talked to Brad about it. He did not like the play call. You're up, put the points on the board. You don't know what's going to happen. 10-0 is 10-0. No. So, okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with Romo. Take the points. Lutt's a great field goal kicker. So, 11 plays, 43 yards, used up 6:32 of the clock, no points. 10 rushes last game, running backs, 11 already this game. So they're moving. But that play to me stood. That stuck with me for a while. Broncos 7-0, 9:22 left in the second. Broncos another sack. 3rd and 13, Mac Hollins, great throw. He bobbled it, made the catch. Second first down for the Pats. We're talking midway through the second quarter. Diggs, 3rd conference championship game, Minnesota, Buffalo, now the Pats. He was 0 for 2 coming in. 3rd and 3, a lot of pressure on May today. 3rd sack by Broncos. 4 series for the Pats. 4 punts. 10-0 sounds a lot better than 7-0. Sack, Broncos, DJ Jones, Zach Allen, and Q Robinson. 7-0, 5:50 left and a half. Broncos get back those. They got to get back those lost points, I said. Pat Bryant, hammy, had a concussion last week. He was questionable, didn't come back to play. 3rd and 5, Broncos complete. It was 8-2 Broncos first downs. So they're moving the ball. And you're thinking, intentional grounding called on a pass. This is the big thing. Stidham seemed to be holding onto the ball too much throughout the game instead of passing, get rid of the ball, doing what he had to do. No, he was holding on the ball. And this play, it looked like, and I talked to Brad, they called it an intentional grounding. Then they called it a backward pass. It looked like it went straight across, and they blew the whistle. So the Pats ran it in, but they called it a backwards pass, and they got the ball there, but then they said that did Denver touch it before the Pats touch it? Either way, that's not talked about enough. I felt that was just a pass. It was a forward pass. He pushed it with both hands. He just held the ball too goddamn long. It was a mess. It was a total mess. So, Stidham had to get rid of the ball earlier, which it just was a play that was disaster. Like he was trying to find the perfect play and just get rid of the fucking ball. You watched the second game, guys. Darnold, just get rid of the ball. He took 1 sack, but inexperienced quarterbacks hold on to the ball too goddamn long. So May ends up rushing in a touchdown, 2:10 left. It took 12 12 plays, 42 seconds, momentum is, it's now 7-7. So you're thinking, oh shit, this is not good. So fumble lost. So 3 series, fumble lost. They fumble last series they lost on a sack of Barmore. 3rd and 18, Broncos get 12. Now Pats get the ball back. A lot of time to do damage. 1:30 left. Pats on own 10-yard line. 3 and out. Pats, Broncos ball back 48 seconds. 0 timeouts. So 49. And then Stidham, come on, lost a yard when I thought he should have got a little closer. And Will Lutz, 32 on 36 for the season, 54 yards wide right. And the wind was playing havoc. But still, I always feel like they try to get a little cute. Stidham really isn't a runner. That's one thing they said about Stidham is that he's not a mobile quarterback, as opposed to Knicks, where Knicks could get out and get some yardage right there. Shitty end of the series. That's it. 20 seconds left. Shitty pass to Butte. Need 20 yards for field goal range. Season average this year for May, 258.5 yards. He had 41 yards. 41 yards. So Will Campbell got a false start. So Borogalis tried a 63-yarder. His high was 59, wide left. He'd been 30 for 30. Now he's 30 for 35 on the season. Both missed field goals in the last minute. And it's 7-7, and it really should be 10-0. But Stidham, shitty play. So Stidham threw for 12 for 21, $123, a touchdown in the first half, 3 rushes, 15 yards. R.J. Harvey had 9 rushes for 29 yards, 2 for 21. Ingram had 2 catches for 19 yards. Cortland Sutton had 3 for 17. New England got the ball to start the second half. Stidham is the 7th quarterback since tracking in 1950 to make first start in playoffs. The other players were 1-5. The only winner in his first start coming to the playoffs was Frank Reich in 92, that big comeback against the, right? He did it against 92. Yeah. Well, he came in. Didn't he get hurt? And then his first start, and then they came back and they beat Houston. I thought he was hurt and they came into that game. That's what game I'm thinking of. Yeah, first down, 10-4 Denver. Third downs, 3 for 8 New England, 3 for 9 Broncos, 0 for 1 on fourth down. 149 to 72 yards for Denver, 3.6 yards per play for Denver, 2.8 for New England. Yeah, passing yards, 92 to 29. Rushing, that was the Broncos, 57-43 Broncos in rushing yards. New England was 1 for 1 in the red zone, and I'll tell you, Denver, that field goal, you knew it was going to be a problem. Both got 1 penalty, turnovers, 1-0 led to New England touchdown. Drake May, 7 for 14, 41 yards, sacked 3 times, 2 rushes, 22 yards, and a touchdown. Nothing rushing. Your leading catcher was Hollins with the 20-yard catch. I mean, nothing really happening. So we go into the. Oh, I got those numbers all missed. Okay, let's put that over there. All right, so we're still going. Sorry, folks. I just had to get everything in order. And let's see. Good catch by JD. 34. Okay. There we go. Okay, so James Palmer said Pats allowed 5th highest pressure rate, 38.4% per Next Gen Stats. For the season, Broncos 2nd highest quarterback pressure rate, 40.7. As I said, May 41 pass yards, fewest this year in first half, including playoffs. Yeah, crazy. So the first couple drives for the Broncos the first 2 drives got 125 yards. Last 3 drives of the half, 24 fumble, punt, missed field goal. So Broncos going in the opposite direction, which isn't good. New England already in Denver territory. We're in the second half. Drake May goes for 28 yards. He has 3 for 50 rushing at this point. He had more yards rushing at this point, 50 than passing, 46. 4th and 1, 2 defensive linemen for Pats. They'd been 16 for 19 with 1 through 3 yards through the year. Now he gets it, but they didn't do it. They didn't bring out the chains. So they did a challenge, and the challenge came back, and I just thought it was a little bit of a bullshit. I thought you could have brought the chains out. Did he really get the first down? I don't know. I didn't think so. 5 turnovers in the first 2 games for May, 0 yesterday. Should have been a measurement. 12 negative plays between the 2 teams. They try a 23-yard field goal with 9:31 left, and it is 10-7. The Broncos did not get a touchdown, so it's 10-7. May another scramble. I told them to slide. 64 rushes, 64 yards on five rushes, now all for first down. So he had been playing well. Flea flicker to Mac Hollins, got 31 yards, longest play of the game. I'm sorry, so it wasn't a field goal. So it's still Borregales, 46-yarder wide right. So it's still 10-7 on another drive. I was right. There are 11 seconds left in the third. So they're only down 10-7. We're going to the fourth quarter. Now the snow has started. Total yards in third quarter, Washington, was it was 149-72 at the half. And in the third quarter, the Pats had 22 plays for $115. The Broncos had 3 for 8 yards, 115-8. And you're only down 3 with the swirling snow. So things have changed a lot. Players said they couldn't see. The sideline reporter, Tracy Wolfson, said if she looked one way, she could see perfectly. If the other way, she couldn't keep her eyes open. So imagine playing in that. It was cool football weather, but it wasn't good quality football weather, playing weather. Fourth quarter, snow and face for the Broncos. Temperature dropped dramatically, will affect kickers, everyone. Lil Jordan Humphrey, he had to make a catch, did not. Six plays in the second half for Denver at that point. 22 for the Broncos. Yeah, rushing yards in the second half, 89-4 for the Patriots. Another sack, big play by the Broncos. It was a covered sack. And, sacks 5-3 for Denver, 11:29 left, 10-3 New England. Broncos with less than 10 minutes left in game got first down of second half. So nothing was happening. Stidham still holding the ball way too fucking long. 8:21 left, another Denver punt. Pat start at 9-yard line. Denver's Jeremy Crenshaw at that point had 6 punts, over 51 yards a punt, 3 inside the 20. So he was keeping him in the game. Couldn't see the ball on the punt, low visibility. We couldn't see it, and Romo said it was worse at the stadium. NFL and Broncos D, 5+ sacks in 7 games, including playoffs, most in the NFL. 45-yard field goal, no good. Was that the last shot for Denver? And you know who blocked it? The former Jet, Leonard Taylor III, who was a Jet this season, was brought over to the Pats, was on the practice squad, and was activated on Saturday. He tipped that field goal. It might have went in. It might have went in for Lutz. Huge play. So guys are contributing. Everybody's contributing. It's pretty crazy. 4:38 left, 2 timeouts. That missed 4th and 1. Yep, it came back to haunt them. Broncos fake, take a timeout, 3:11 left. Denver have 1. Fourth quarter comeback. They said in the playoffs, tied for most. 6 game-winning drives in the last 3 minutes overtime. 15 lead changes in this playoffs. The next closest in a playoff year was 10. So it's been an exciting playoffs. Would this also join that group? No, it would not. First and 10, 3:05 left, 2:11 to go. Broncos 1 timeout. Chris Gonzalez underthrown Stidham. Interception, terrible underthrow. I don't know why he went for it. Get the first down. I talked about it with Harris. You're down 10-7. It's not like you need. But they were panicking. So 3rd and 7, they said 3rd and 6. Drake May on a design run from Josh McDaniels. That's it. Second youngest quarterback now, Drake May, to start a Super Bowl behind only Dan Marino. That's crazy. Dan Marino is the youngest, and he's the second youngest. He would be the youngest quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Yeah. And as I said, 12th Super Bowl appearance, had been 0-4 in Denver, now 1-4. Vrabel looking to become the first coach to win a Super Bowl as a player and coach for the same team. Elway did win in 2015, won as a GM. He also won as a player, but the first coach to play and coach the same team to a Super Bowl, which would be kind of crazy. May ended up, May said it wasn't ideal conditions. 10 for 21, 86 yards, 10 rushes, 65 yards, 206 total yards of offense for the Pats. Broncos 181. First Super Bowl appearance since 2018. So in the fourth quarter, the Broncos outgained them 24-19, but the Broncos had 32 yards of offense in the second half. 32 yards. Yeah. Unbelievable. Second half. So I talked about first half. Second half, all New England. 8-1 first downs. 134 to 32 yards. 3.5 yards for the Pats. 1.88 for the Broncos. Passing yards, 10 for the Broncos. 39 for New England. Rushing yards, 22 for Broncos. 98 for New England. 3 total penalties. Both teams went 1 and 2 in the red zone. Turnovers, 2-0. New England won that. New England went 6 for 18 on third downs, 1 for 1 on fourth. Broncos 4 for 14, 0 for 1 on fourth. 7-7 at the half, 3-0 second half. Pats first team to go 9-0 on the road. Stevenson ran for 71. Mac Hollins had 2 catches for 51. Diggs going to his first Super Bowl, 5 catches for 17 yards, and Hunter 3 for 12. So not a lot of offense. How about this? Jay Kuda posted this. The Broncos are now 0-37 in franchise history when they score 0 points after the end of the first quarter. So if they're held scoreless last 3 quarters of a game, they are 0-37. 0-37. That is out of control. And you know what? I still, you never take points off the board. And you know what? It haunted them. And they were down 31-27, Sean McVay, to the Seahawks. And instead of kicking a field goal, they went for it on 4th down, on 3rd and 4th down. And Witherspoon made plays on both plays, on both balls at the end of the game, at the end of the game, in the second game yesterday. And a field goal, 31-30. Mevis was kicking. He was kicking over 50 yards. He was kicking yesterday. This one, too, 10-0. You might have had overtime. And who knows if they want to take it away. Darnold will be super willing. Yeah. Okay. Sure thing, Barnes. We'll let it sink in. Broncos went, 12 yards for a touchdown, 10 total points. Thank you, Josh Abo. Softly August posted Payton call game. Sean Payton call game like had Drew Brees at quarterback, like he still had Drew Brees at quarterback. Pats are the 4th Super Bowl last 10 years. They won in 2017-19, lost 2018. No, I don't think the Pats win, dude. No, I do not. Yeah, Drake May. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Broncos D, 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 3 pass defense, 7 quarterback hits. Pats D, forced fumble, interception, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 3 pass defense, 7 quarterback hits. Stidham in the second half went 5 for 10 for 10 yards and interception. And I know the conditions were terrible, but still, it was not good. Yeah, not good at all. Stidham had a negative 0.1 EPA on scrambles. Knicks in 6 games had at least a 2.0 EPA on scrambles. If he was healthy, it would have been a different game. But you got to do what you have to do there. Yeah, well, that's the thing too. But they're going to be playing on grass in pretty ideal conditions, unless it rains. And we're going to see May 3 of 57 on scrambles. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 15 plays added 6.4 EPA, a season high for May. Yes, I must have got it. No, I didn't. I really wasn't paying attention. I was just chilling by myself, dude. Chilling by myself. Yep. Just watching the game, taking my notes. That's all I do. Do my show, and that's all. I do my show, do this, do that, and keep on trucking there, Barnes. Josh Dubois put this also. Darnold came in with 6 interceptions versus Rams this season. I don't want to get rid of. And I'll tell you, he played a hell of a game. I got to get I almost got rid of my cards I shouldn't have got rid of. All right, I'll put those back here. And Darnold, 6 interceptions versus Rams this season. Last quarterback with 7+ interceptions on opponent, including playoffs. Andy Dalton, 7 in 2 games versus the Ravens in 2013. The Rams are trying to become the 6th team to win 3 road playoff games, joining the 2020 Bucks, 2010 Packers, 2007 Giants, 2005 Steelers, and the 1985 Pats. The only one who didn't win the Super Bowl was the 85 Pats. 3-0 Seattle when hosting the championship game. Now they're 4-0. McVay was looking for his 3rd Super Bowl appearance in 9 years. He turned 40 years old on Saturday. Seahawks deferred to the second half. Stafford was 6-1 against the Rams. Only loss was in Week 16 at Seattle. So, okay. So Darnold, 28 wins last 2 seasons, most of the NFL. Also the first player to win 14 games with 2 different franchises in back-to-back years. 3rd and 5, Rashid Shaheed, who was traded from the Saints. Bam, big play, 51 yards. JSN, big play. Bam, they're clicking. Great drive. Kenneth Walker Jr. Beats Byron Young to the corner, 7-0. So you're thinking, we're going. 7 plays, 81 yards, 336, 7-0 Seahawks. Walker's 4th touchdown of the playoffs. Nakua on 2nd and 7, 44 yards. You know Nakua's going to get his yards. 3rd and 10, bad throw. Nakua, bad throw to Nakua on Stafford. Harrison Mevis comes in, 44 yards. It is 10-3. JSN on 3rd and 2 makes a goddamn one-handed catch. He's got 3 for 33. And you know he's going to get the ball, and they still couldn't stop him. So Darnold is now 6 for 7, a $104. Rams D in the red zone. TDs on 7 of 8 possessions coming into that. Poor pass by Darnold. Couldn't get where he needed to be. Jason Myers, 27 yards, 10-3. Yes, well, the secondary is not good. So Seahawks at this point have 18 plays for a buck 47 after one quarter with almost 11 minutes of time of possession. The Rams 10 plays, 69 yards, 403. 7-2 first downs for Seattle. Yeah, they were moving the ball. I mean, 147. Stafford was Puka had basically all his yardage. Kyron Williams was rushing a little bit. Darnold was already through for 114. Kenneth Walker had eight carries already, had 59 total yards. Shaheed had the one catch. JSN 3 for 33. And Devontae Adams, who had no catches in the first quarter, bam, gets a 23-yarder. Yards per play, 8 for the Rams, 8.2 for Seattle. He was down on the sack, Stafford, but it should have been called a face mask. They did not call the face mask, and bam. Missed face mask was a fumble too. They got the ball back. Mevis makes the thicker kicker, makes it 10-6. After fumbled snap by Darnold, he gets sacked by Braden Fisk, who hit. I mean, he's a big dude. And a good drive leads to a punt. Huge punt, 53 yards, fumbled, but it got Xavier Smith got a good bounce and caught it. So that's a harbinger for future things to happen. But that's the thing. They fired their special teams coach this season, and they had a lot of problems this year with special teams. The Rams. So Xavier Smith, very lucky on that one. And check this out. Regular season, 2 games, Rams 58-57 in points and 830 to 829 yards for the Rams. That's how close the 2 games were. 21-19, the Rams won at home. Then they lost 38-37 week 16 in Seattle. Puka had another catch, long drive, 10-6. They get a touchdown. Bam. Kyron Williams gets a 9-yard touchdown pass. Place is quiet. Rams behind. The Seahawks behind first time since fourth quarter of game versus the Rams December 18th. Thank you, Bob Condata. That was the first time they'd been down since week 18. So the fans are like, oh, shit, what's going on here? 12 plays, 87 yards, 723, 155 left. Seahawks need to score, get ball to start second half. Nada by Seattle. George Halani, bad pass by Darnold, not looking good right now. Took crowd out of the game. And then first 2 drives, 19 plays, 137 yards, 10 points. Last 7 plays, 4 yards, no points. So JSN is open. So they get the ball back again because JSN, the Rams don't do anything with it. They get the ball back, 42 yards of JSN. He's wide open. TD with 20 seconds left. Oh, I'm sorry. They got the ball back, and with no timeouts, they went 6 plays, 74 yards in 34 seconds. And JSN has 115 yards on 7 catches and a TD, and he was wide open. And Darnold got hit in that play. But I don't know how JSN, you know who he is in the field, and nobody's covered him? To me, I thought that was crazy. So they wide open for a TD. Not sure. I don't know how TB12 goes. Not sure how you lose track of JSN, but they lost track of him. I mean, and Barnes brought it up. Shula, not a good. He, they talk about him as a head coach, but the secondary was never that good this year. But they had a bad day to have a bad game, and then most. JSN's 115 yards at the half were the most by a Seahawks player in first half of a playoff game ever. And they had Largent. So that's kind of crazy. So, first half stats, Seattle, 12-11 of first downs. Rams had 204 yards on 6 drives, over 6 yards per play. Seahawks had 239 on 5 drives, over 7.7 yards per play. 201 to 116 for the Seahawks. Third down, Rams 1 for 5, Seahawks 3 for 6. Rush 88-38 to Rams. Penalties 3-0 Seahawks. Stafford threw for $125, a touchdown, a 13-yard rush. Corum had 40 at the half. Kyron Williams had 31 on the ground, another 9 on a catch. Puka had 4 for 75. Devontae Adams had 1 catch in the first half. And Darnold threw for 209 and a touchdown. Walker had 61 yards. JSN had 115. Shaheed had the 1 catch. George Halani had 1 catch. A.J. Barner had 1 catch. And so then they start the second half. Darnold sacked the end of the drive. Xavier Smith fumbles, falls down, fumbles, gives the ball on the Rams 17, and you're like, okay, well, the drive's over. Bam. So it's 17-13. Jake Bobo had his 4th catch of the season, and it's 24-13 for the Seahawks. Second fumble for Smith, and they benched him after that. They put Kyron Williams back on punt return. But that was a huge play. Yeah, and I don't know, Michigan and I both say, why no fair catch? I don't know. I don't know why they didn't call fair catch. Parkinson, what a catch and what a pass from Stafford, 40 yards. Devontae Adams, 29 yards. Just 4 plays, 75 yards, 221. Devontae Adams got his 10th touchdown inside the 5-yard line this year. 2 yards for a touchdown. 9th postseason TD, cracks all-time top 10. And I saw that. Was that his 9th or 10th? So he is now tied with, I had the stats here. Yeah, we talked about Shador. Shador should be a Pro Bowler. Yeah, right. Should be a Pro Bowler there, Shador. Let me see what I can find. Here we say, no. That was the early game. I'm trying to find the early game. Nope. Did I delete it? Did JD delete it? JD did not delete it. No, there's no way he could have deleted it. Huh? Oh, okay. So he is now tied with Andre Reed, Steve Smith, Lynn Swann, and Reggie Wayne for the 10th most playoff TDs in NFL history. So, pretty cool, right? I thought pretty cool. Yeah, so that was that. And what I see there. So, yes, 10th place. And also his first touchdowns for Adams since the 2020 NFC Championship game versus the Bucs, which they lost for Adams. And 3rd and 3 Cooper Kupp, TD, 13 yards. So they go down. It's like going back and forth. So it went from 24-13, 24-20, 31-20, 9 plays, 65 yards, 449, 452 left in the third. JSN has 9 catches for a $139 and a touchdown. Darnold on the drive went 5 for 6 for 53 yards. Devontae Adams beats Witherspoon for 35 yards. Off again. 3rd and 12, almost intercepted. Nakua broke it up on Reek Woolen. So he breaks that pass up. After play, he's taunts, which leads to would have been 4th and 12, a taunting penalty where Woolen is going to the Rams bench and taunting. Give him a first down. Next play, he is burned by Nakua for a 34-yard touchdown, which is a great catch. He caught it. It kind of bounced, dropped, slid in the end zone. So Reek Woolen goes from should have had interception, was ripped out of his hands by Nakua, taunting penalty, and then burned by Nakua for a 34-yard touchdown. First catch by Nakua of the second half. Yeah, wow. Back-to-back plays for Reek Woolen. Shit on a stick. That was terrible. So Stafford is now, against man coverage, he was 7 for 12 at this point, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the Seahawks play man about 57% rate during the season. So it's back and forth, and now it's a 31-27, right? So Puka at this point has 5 catches, a $109 and a touchdown. Adams has 49 for a touchdown. Nakua, NFL Plus said Nakua passes Randy Moss for 2nd most receiving yards in first 3 seasons all time. 28 points in the 3rd quarter, 31-27 Seattle, and there's no points in the 4th quarter, which is kind of crazy. Darnold showed some wheels, 14 yards in Rams territory, so you're like, okay, maybe something's going here. Kitchens comes to the next play, 9 yards, sack, third down passing up to that point. Darnold 5 for 7 for 95, 5 first downs. Shaheed had it. Durant knocked it out. Kyron Williams in for punt return, fair catch, which is what Xavier Smith should have been doing all fucking game. Stafford, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, second half. Parkinson wide open, drops the ball at the freaking 10-yard line. So 4th and 1. They've been 16-24 regular season, 3 for 4 in the postseason. DeMarcus Lawrence had it, couldn't tackle him. He gets the first down, and Tom Brady goes, "Not today, brother." Now, DeMarcus Lawrence spent his first 10 seasons with the Cowboys. He goes to the Seahawks Super Bowl first season. But I remember that play. DeMarcus Lawrence had him, and Stafford's not really a runner, and bam, he gets the first down. Puka, now at this point, has 7 catches, a $121, a touchdown. 7 plays, uh, 7 for 9, 65 yards on this drive. Two great pass breakups of Stafford on third down, both by Witherspoon. On third down, Kanata Mumfield. And then a fourth down in the end zone, actually was behind Terrence Ferguson. Not a great pass, and that's it. Why not cut to 31-30? Now you still need TD to beat them. I didn't understand it. I really didn't. I was like, guys, you could have been 31-30, get the ball back, and something good could happen. Nope. McVay thought about calling a timeout on fourth down. He was running down on the fourth down play, let it go. Well, 14 plays, 84 yards, 724, no points. Walker, they're deep in the end zone, 10-yard line. They start. Walker, 15-yard catch, all on him. Deke verse. It was a great play. Rams take first timeout, second of 8, 3:26 left. You think the game's over? Ball wasn't catchable by Shaheed, but he got pushed out of bounds by Quentin Lake. And I'm like, there's no. And I was talking to Daniel at this point, and I was like, dude, it hit his helmet, but it was uncatchable, and he pushed him out of bounds. Bullshit call that it wasn't called. There's something out of it, and they let it play. I thought Cooper Kupp was short of the first down. Daniel said to me that he got the ball over the first down marker. So I didn't think it was. No first down. And then he had the ball in his hands. He went down. He rolled over. He lost the ball. But they said, I don't know what it catches anymore. McVay should have challenged it, but he would have lost 2 timeouts. So he did it. I thought that wasn't a catch because he went down, came to the ground, rolled over, and lost the ball. But they called him down. I just feel like it changes like every goddamn game. It infuriates me. Play action, holding. So they go a play. Durant gets hold on Kupp. They get a first down. And they seem to they give the ball back to the Rams. Like I was writing cards and I was kind of in and out. And I was like, what are you guys doing here? So 25 seconds left. They're at their 8-yard line, 92 yards. I didn't like that last drive by the Seahawks. Yeah, they get to the line fast. They get a pass to Nakua. Bam. And then on the last catch, he caught it. Knee went down in bounds. He slid. The clock ran out, so they lost 31-27, where, you know what, they could have kicked a field goal and won the game at the end. They did not. 4th Super Bowl for the Seahawks, first since 2014. Nakua had 2 catches for 44 yards in the last drive. So Darnold, 25 of 36, 346, 3 touchdowns, season high. Listen, Darnold's on his 5th fucking team. 5th team. And it just goes to show you it's not how you start the journey. It's how you handle the journey and how you end it. And I guess for an athlete, there's an end to the journey because your career ends. But what a guy for 5th to that. NFL and CBS, Stafford, first quarterback to lose 2 games for a saved team with 300-plus passing yards and 3+ passing TDs and 0 turnovers. Lost 2 games this year to them. In the 38-37 loss in week 16, he went for 457, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. 374, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. In the 2 games, he threw for 931 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2 games. And he's now 6-2. 931. Seahawks now 4-0, championship games at home. Other quarterback with losses, 300-plus passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Montana never happened. Mahomes, Favre, Rivers, Kurt Warner, 1 each. I'm sorry, wait, no. Yes. Mahomes, Favre, River, Kurt Warner, and I think it was Russ. No, that was it. 1 each. Twice this year. 300-plus passing yards, 300-plus passing yards, 3+ touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers. You lose both games. Crazy, right? It happens. Like Holmes said, 2 Super Bowl rings, and the league MVP. He would have passed Big Ben and Eli, and he only has 3 Pro Bowls. Stafford said they said he's coming back. Football Perspective had a stat: adjusted net yards per attempt. Aaron Rodgers back in his career averaged 7.48, which is the highest of any quarterback. 9.38 in 2011, that was his career high. Stafford in the game yesterday, 11.81 adjusted net yards per attempt in a losing effort. There have been 45 quarterbacks that throw 20-plus passes and average 11-plus average net yards an attempt in a game. 45 quarterbacks, 2 lost. Stafford yesterday and Brady in Super Bowl 52 against the Eagles. They lost 41-33, threw for over 500 yards. That's it. 43 of the 45 won, except Stafford and Brady. That's pretty goddamn good company. He played a great game, but the defense and, also Seahawks. Listen, Seahawks, 24 first downs, 7 for 13 on third down. They gave up 479 yards of offense. They gave up 26 first downs. They won the turnover battle. They averaged 6.1 yards per play. 3 sacks they got. Walker had 111 total yards and a touchdown. JSN on 12 targets, 10 for 151 and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 4 for 36 and blocking. Halani had 3 rushes for 4 yards, 3 catches for 27. Barner had 2 catches for 13. Bobo's only catch went for a touchdown. The Rams got 3 sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence got the only sack for the Seahawks. The defense for the Seahawks: sack, tackle for loss, 7 pass defense, 3 quarterback hits. The Rams: 3 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 5 pass defense, and 7 quarterback hits. Jared Verse, a tackle, a sack, tackle for loss, 3 quarterback hits. Corum Red for 55, another 79 total yards. Kyron Williams had 71 yards total offense and a touchdown. Puka, 9 for 165, a touchdown on 14 targets. Devontae Adams had no catches in the fourth, 4 for 89 and a touchdown. Kobe Parkinson, huge drop. He would have walked in on that play. He would have walked in the fourth quarter. Huge drop, 3 for 62. Stafford, as we said, sacked once. Yeah, crazy, right? Darnold hung in pocket and took hits from Kobe Turner twice, Jared Verse once, 1 each on each of his 3 touchdown passes. Third down for the game, he was 6 for 9 for 102 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. He had a plus 0.047 EPA per pass play, 4th best of any Seahawks quarterback in 30 playoff games this century, better than any Vikings quarterback. Now, you knew he was quarterback last year since Will family bought the Vikings 2 decades ago. Remember, he came in, J.J. McCarthy got hurt. He ended up starting the whole year at 14 wins, didn't have a good playoff game, didn't have a good end of the season. Then came over to the Seahawks this year, had a very good, listen, they won that game against the Rams. He's been he had to make plays yesterday. He's going to have to make plays in the Super Bowl, which I think he will. Josh Dubois, TDs versus the Seahawks on drives, 85-plus yards this season. 2, that's another thing, defense, some problem, big, terrible. 2 versus the Rams, 2 in the first 18 games, Niners week 1, Rams week 16. They beat them up. They got a lot of yardage in that. And now we have Super Bowl LX. So Sam Darnold in his first 3 years with the Jets went 13-25, went to the Panthers, lost his starting job, went 8-10. Oh, they lost a playoff game. 21-35, including playoff games. 0-1 with the Niners, 14-4 with the Vikes, 16-3 with the Seahawks. This is from Clutch Points. How you finish, not how you start. That's what I said. First quarterback, 2018 class to make a Super Bowl. Beat Allen, beat Baker Mayfield, beat Lamar Jackson. 2023 was a backup to Purdy during Niners Super Bowl run. Almost beat Rams in his lone start. Threw a touchdown against the Ravens on Christmas Day. Purdy and Shanahan changed how he viewed the game. And this is a guy who's been in the league for a while. 1 year, $10 million with the Vikings. JJ gets hurt. 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 43-19. First Pro Bowl, 14-3 as a starter. He parlays that into 3 years, $100.5 million with the Seahawks. 14-3, only quarterback back-to-back 14-win seasons with different teams. Number 1 seed onto the Super Bowl. Listen, I'm proud of him. I really am. You know, I would just say that he didn't let the noise get to him. He went there with the terrible mustache. The mustache is terrible. And just play ball and just balled. And that's all he did. He balled. And that's all you can ask. Got the job done. Loved it. I loved that they won the game. Drake May, first time ever starting quarterback in Super Bowl, won't be from the 1900s, born in the 2000s. Thank you, Sporting News. Michigan sent me that one. 86 yards passing for May, but 10 for 65, and that big run, 3rd and 7 to ice the game. Like Burrow in 2021, May led the NFL in completion percentage, 70.2 this year, and yards per attempt, 8.9. Marino in 84, AFC Championship game against the Steelers, threw for 421, which is still the record. 421 in the championship game, 4 touchdowns against the Steelers in 84. He threw for 5,084 yards that year, 382 completions, 48 touchdowns, all records that have been broken. But he was like at a different level. And then they got blown out, which Mike Sandos said from teams between 70 and 2019, he had the Bears of 85 1 and the Niners of 84 number 2. That's how good they were, which that was a great 38-16. You had Roger Craig, you had Rice. I mean, that was a hell of a Niners team. And they blew them out 38. It wasn't even a football game. They got blown out. They got played at Stanford Stadium. I still remember that game. And Marino never got back. You would think, oh, he'll be back. No, he never got back. second-year quarterbacks to make a Super Bowl. Purdy did it in 2023 with a passer rating of 109.6. May this year with a 109.5. Purdy in 23 had 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. May this year, 40-16. 40 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 109.5. He's had a year. Marino in 84, 55-20, 109.5. Burrow in 2021, 40 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 106.2. Big Ben in 2005, he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl win over Seattle. He had a terrible game. 28-11, 104.1. Then Russell Wilson, 28-15, 100 passer rating, 2013. They got there with the defense and they blew out the Broncos, 43-8 at MetLife. Kaepernick, 2012. Remember, he had over 200 yards of rushing against Green Bay in the divisional round. He had 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 99.8. He took over for Alex Smith. And Brady in 2001 won the Super Bowl second year, 20 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 84.6. And no one knew who Brady was then. And they said they had all the plays that the Rams were running. Rams said they knew every play they were calling. Belichick something. And never been proven, but that was something they felt. Pat's second-year quarterbacks, Grogan went 11-3-76. They lost on a bullshit pass interference penalty. If you ask Pat fans back then, and that was the only championship that oh my God, John Madden ever won. They went 32-14 over the Vikings at the Rose Bowl. Fred Bilenikoff got the MVP that year of the Super Bowl. And yes, so Grogan went second year. Brady second year won Super Bowl. Last defensive coach to win a Super Bowl was Belichick in 2018. But McDonald could be the first coach that calls the defense to win a Super Bowl, because Belichick had Patricia. He always, and even Landry didn't call his own plays. He was the overseer. So Mike McDonald could be the first coach that calls defensive play caller that will win a Super Bowl if it happens. Now, yeah. Seattle ranked number 1 EPA per play during regular season, 0.25 EPA yesterday, which would have been last among the 52 winning teams in conference championship games going back to 2000 since True Media. That's how badly they played. 26 first downs. They did hold them to 1-8 on third down, 1 for 2 on fourth. They gave up 479 yards on 10 drives, 8.3 yards per play, 365 to Stafford, 10.1 yards per pass, 114 yards rushing, 5.2 per carry. 2 for 3 in the red zone were the Rams, 6 for 50 penalties, but 0 turnovers. Oh, they did get but a lot of yards per play, and McDonald's gonna have to fix that up because that was not a good day. But they still won, and no points in the fourth quarter. Stafford 0 for 6 on third down, but on second down he was 10 for 13, $165, and a touchdown. The way they were playing him was working, but second down he was lighting it up. And New England at 80-1, and the Seattle at 60-1 are the longest 4,800-1 long shots, eclipsing Kurt Warner's Rams against the Titans 1999. They were 150-1 because Trent Dilfer went down in the preseason, and Kurt Warner took over Dick Vermeil's team, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. Was it 23-16? I think it was. They stopped them at the goal line. The Titans, remember that? Yeah, the fastest show on turf. Seattle is a 4.5-point favorite. Ari Myrov said Vrabel fired in 23 by the Titans, didn't get a head coaching job in 24, Super Bowl in 2025. The Pats' fewest points scored in a wild card divisional and conference championship game en route to the Super Bowl. The Pats have 54 points this year. The Ravens in 2000 had 61. Didn't matter. They scored 38 in the Super Bowl. And the Giants in 2007 scored 17 in the Super Bowl, came in with 68 points in the 3 games. But they have outscored the 3 opponents 54-26. So we'll see how that goes. Dante Koplowitz-Fleming, quarterbacks under 24 against Mike McDonald's defenses since 2023. 0 for 6, a touchdown, 8 interceptions, 22 sacks. And as I said, Drake May is looking to become the youngest quarterback. He hasn't looked good all postseason. And as you saw, he did it with his legs, which he could do and he did enough to win. Weather played a factor. I still think that field goal, 10-0, it might have been a totally different game. Missing that and the fumble, it could have been 10-0 going in the second half, and New England wouldn't have done shit. But it didn't happen. They wasted that great defense, and it's over. Drake May and Sam Darnold combined for 33 wins as starting quarterbacks, including playoffs, most combined by two starting quarterbacks, entering a Super Bowl in NFL history. Thank you, OptaStats. And why were the Pats colors on the Empire State Building? It's New York. Really? I saw that. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Underdog put this up. Quarterbacks all-time rushing in playoffs for the Patriots. Drake May has 141 in 3 games. Tom Brady at 136 in 41 games. Different player. Mobile, not mobile. Pats are the 6th team to reach the Super Bowl after 5 or fewer wins in previous season. Darnold is the 3rd quarterback to get to a Super Bowl on his 5th NFL team. Oral Morrill, Super Bowl 3 in 68 with the Colts. That was his 6th team. Chris Chandler, Super Bowl 33 for Atlanta against the Broncos, was his 6th team. So now I think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback. Earl Morrall was a good quarterback, but Chris Chandler was more of a journeyman. And I love that Darnold's there. JSN said, that's my man. Leonard Williams' first playoff in year 8. Year 11, he's at the Super Bowl. Zach Rosenblatt. Pats went from 4-13 to the Super Bowl. From Josh Dubois. Pats went 4-13 to the Super Bowl. As I said, 2021 Bengals. The year before were 4-11-1. They lost to the Rams. 2019 Niners. The year before they were 4-12. Lost to the Chiefs. 99 Rams went from 4-12 to Super Bowl. 1988 Bengals 4-11. That one where they lost. And the John Caney Montana drive. Yep, I was in a psychiatric ward in Morristown Memorial Hospital. Taylor caught the touchdown and they lost the game. Tim Crumry broke his leg early in the game. Boomer Esiason was being interviewed that I'm going to Disney World, and it didn't happen. That was a hell of a team. And I saw them the next year, Monday Night Football against the Browns at Riverfront Stadium with a guy I went to college with, an American. These are the things you remember in life. All right, so, the Giants. Denard Wilson, the new defensive coordinator, was Titans DC last 2 years, developed Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore. Thank you, HG for that one. Harbaugh connection in Baltimore. Jordan Renan. Justin Penix, best defensive candidate 2 years ago when New York Giants moved on from Wink. DB as Eagles and Ravens players vouch for him. HJ loves him, so we'll see what happens there. The Art Rooney, the second, Mike McCarthy, he's been a winner. Open to bringing back Aaron Rodgers, because what could go wrong there? What could go wrong? Joe Brady's getting his second interview with the Raiders. Phillip Rivers pulled out because his son is one of the most highest ranked quarterbacks in his senior year. He wants to coach him, but he had a good interview with the Bills. So Denver's quarterback coach, Davis Webb, the former Texas Tech Giants quarterback, will be interviewing for the job. Stefanski interviewed tomorrow, and then they're gonna get a GM. Usually you get a GM, then a coach, not the other way around, but that's why the Falcons suck. Arthur Blank, come on, dude. We still have Bills are 12-5 last season, made the playoffs. Browns 5-12. People keep dropping out. 2023 last playoff appearance. Cardinals 3-14. 2000. Mike LaFleur now from the Rams is one of the guys up for the job. Raiders 3-14. 2021. I talked about Shedeur Sanders. I can't anymore about that. KP Finley, Dan Marino, and Darryl Green in 83 drafted in 82 in 83 drafted back to back. 27th Marino, 28th Darryl Green. Stayed with one franchise their whole career, both Hall. Can you imagine that? 27 and 28. He said that has to be the greatest 27, 28th picks in NFL history. I go, I don't disagree. A week after saying Mike McDaniel he's taken the OC job. I think he's realizing none of the jobs he really wants. Jonathan Gannon's going to try to resurrect his career with the Packers and realize that he's a defensive coordinator and not anything else. Raiders have drafted quarterbacks in the first round 4 times. Jamarcus Russell, 2007, lasted 3 years. Tom Marinovich in 91 lasted 2 years. Flamed out drugs. Jamarcus Russell just lazy. Mark Wilson was drafted in the first round 1980. Backup quarterback on 2 Super Bowl winning teams. And Eldridge Dickey, 1968, moved to wide receiver. In 2 years, he played 68 and 70. That's what I saw, 72. He 5 catches, 112 yards, a touchdown, a couple kick returns. AFL champs in 68. This is a guy, Eldridge Dickey, at Tennessee State, was a 3-time HBCU All-American, threw for over 6,500 yards, 67 touchdowns, could throw with his left and right hand. 1966, Tennessee State was the first undefeated, untied season and the first national black college football champion. That year, they scored 41 points, gave an average of 4 a game. In 2005, he was honored as the quarterback of the all-time HBCU football team. And that same year, in '68, was when they drafted Ken Stabler in the second round. They said he never got over that he was a quarterback, and they moved him to wide receiver because the black quarterback thing. And here's a guy we never got to see what he could have done because he never got the chance. You could see he did it in college, but again, all white guys running the fucking show. And Dickey never got it, and he died in 2000. I can't even talk to him. But maybe I could find someone from Tennessee State that would talk about how good he was in college, because he had to be that good if he was the quarterback of the all-time HBCU football team. And there was a lot of guys who went to those schools who never got a shot to play at the SEC, the Big Ten, because it was lily white. And guys made it to the NFL from HBCU schools. Don't get me wrong. But Dickey definitely never got a shot at quarterback. And they said it always pissed him off. And, you know, he wasn't a wide receiver. He goes, I'm a quarterback. Look at Lamar Jackson. They're saying the same shit with him. And he's like, Polian said that about he should be a wide receiver. Fuck you. Don't tell me what I should be. You know, ridiculous. So I'd love to find people who know. I'd love to get a talk about Eldridge Dickey. I would like to find somebody. Warriors 20 steals last night, most by any team this season. They won by 26 over the T-Wolves. They're 26-21. The T-Wolves improved to 27-19. OKC Legion Hoops lost back-to-back games at home, first time since November 3rd, 2023. Lost 103-101 to Raptors. They're 29-19. OKC now is 30. Raptors 29-19. OKC 37-10. They lost earlier Friday night, right? Friday night. They lost to the Pacers 117-114, who improved to 11-35. Rhonda, your team is not playing well lately. It's still early in the season. We still got a lot of basketball left. There is only one women's team undefeated in women's college basketball. That is UConn, 21-0, 10-0 in the Big East. Vandy lost at South Carolina by 29 on Sunday. They were number 5 coming in. South Carolina was number 3. Both South Carolina is 20-2, 6-1 in the SEC. Vanderbilt is 20-1, 6-1. And so Vandy got destroyed. AP, let me look this up. AP women's poll. Oh, here we go. All right. 10 ranked teams, first time in 50-year history. They have 10 ranked teams. Holy shit. There are release Monday. Wow. Georgia entered number 23. It's win over then number 11 Kentucky. The most teams ever in a single week in the 50-year history of the poll. Last season, the SEC had 10 teams in the men's top 25 for a few weeks. UConn's number 1, only undefeated team. They won 37 straight, dating back to last season. UCLA moved up to number 2 after South Carolina lost in overtime to Oklahoma, which jumped up 6 spots to 10. The Gamecocks fell at 3rd. Texas was 4th, Vanderbilt 5th, and LSU 6th. Commodores got blown out. Louisville and Iowa were 7th and 8th. Michigan dropped 2 spots to 9th after losing to the Commodores in the Coretta Scott King Classic last week. The Lady Bulldogs are the top 25 for the first time since 2022. They started the season 14-0 in non-conference play for the first time in 16 years and already have victories over number 17 Ole Miss and number 18 Kentucky. Andy Landers, yeah, they were a good team. They replaced Nebraska, which fell out of the poll. So the Big Ten is next. 7 teams. Big 12 has 4. ACC has 2, while the Big East and Ivy League each have 1. So Tennessee plays at number 15. Tennessee plays at number 1 UConn on Sunday. Yeah, this will likely be the final ranked opponent that UConn will face before the NCAA tournament. Number 8 Iowa and number 2 UCLA Sunday. First place in the Big Ten will be on the line when the Hawkeyes visit the Bruins. UCLA has won 13 consecutive games since its own loss of the season to Texas, and now has won 8 consecutive games since the loss to UConn in late December. So I'm trying to find where's the poll? That's nice and all, but where's my poll? That is not what I was looking for. I was looking for where's the poll? Got the games of the week. Where's the poll? Where's the AP? All right. Well, that didn't help me. Okay, here we go. Okay, so UConn's 1. UCLA went up from 2 to 3. South Carolina dropped but then they blew out Vandy on Sunday. Texas stayed the same. Vandy stayed at 5. Vandy's 29-point defeat to number 2 South Carolina is the 5th largest loss by a D1 team on a 20-game winning streak over the past 25 seasons. Thursday at Ole Miss, LSU is 6, Louisville 7, Iowa from 10 to 8. Michigan went from 9 to 7. They're at Indiana. I know the men's team is playing Tuesday night at home against Nebraska. Nebraska men's team is 5th in the country, highest ranking ever. The Buckeyes are 11. TCU 12, Michigan State 13, Baylor, Tennessee, Maryland, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Princeton 17-1. Berube, Carla Berube, 15-game winning streak. Duke, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Georgia, Bama, and Washington. I guess UNC women are not ranked. Where's my UNC women's basketball? I thought they were playing well this year. I guess they're not playing as well as they were. UNC women's basketball. They won in overtime yesterday. They are 17-5. Well, where's the standings there? Come on. Where's the standings? They are 6-3. So I guess they're outside looking in right now. All right, they beat Syracuse. All right, so we did that. And Bama beat Echo, 13 points. I don't understand why they let these guys play. They beat the Vols Sunday. They're both teams 13-6. I didn't like that one. How about Utah Saturday night? BYU beat them 91-78. AJ Dibonsa, 43.6 rebounds, 3 assists. They're 17-2, number 3 they're number 13 in the country this week after not being ranked last week. Utah fell to 9-11. St. John's is 25th after being unranked, got their 900th win after being down by 15 points, 16 points. Yeah, wait. Yeah, 16 against Xavier, who's coached by his son, Richard Pitino. Rick Pitino gets his 900th on-court win on Saturday over Xavier, and they have 6 15-point comebacks since he became coach at St. John's 2023-24, tied with Samford for most comeback wins in D1 over that time span. So they're 25 of the country, 15-5. They play Butler on Tuesday night on Peacock at home. Miami of Ohio up 1-24. They're 20-0. First team in MAC history to go 20-0. First D1 team to score 100-plus points in 3 state conference games since Gonzaga in 21-22. Gonzaga in 21-22 was 20-4, number 1 in the final AP poll, lost in the regional semis to Arkansas, and that was the year the UNC lost to Kansas, 72-69. Also, second team to go 10-0 or better and win consecutive games at OT over the last 30 seasons since 2014-15. Kentucky, that went 38-1, finished number 1 at the final AP poll, lost national semifinals 71-64 to Wisconsin, and then Duke beat Wisconsin 68-63. So Michigan's friend Faye's son goes to Miami of Ohio, and look at this. They're 20-0. You got to love first MAC team to start 20-0. It's great I love it. Who cares? Right now, it's just you get the press. The team's playing. They're still playing the MAC. Everybody wants to beat them, but they're still 20-0. They're still playing games. No MAC team has started 20-0. That is an awesome. I love the Miami of Ohio's playing this basketball, playing this well. It's awesome. 5th time in AP poll history since 48-49. 3 teams, Arizona, Nebraska, and Miami of Ohio, all started 20-0. All 3 in poll for second consecutive week. I love it. And Arizona number 1 for the second consecutive week. Purdue dropped 2 straight, so they dropped out of the top 10. Nebraska, as I said, highest ranking. And I talked to Eric Hess. I said, dude, we got to talk. He goes, I haven't checked out the portal, but and Dale is in Cancun, so I don't want to bother him. Nebraska number 5, highest program ranking ever. Purdue dropped 8 spots. Bama dropped 6. Houston and Clemson. Houston lost to Texas Tech over the weekend. Clemson dropped 4. UVA lost to UNC. They dropped 3. So did Vandy in Florida. Georgia's out of the top 25. The women are in. The men are out. UNC went up 6 spots to 16. Kansas and Arkansas went up 5. Michigan State, that's who they're playing Tuesday night. Michigan's playing Michigan State. No, Michigan's playing Nebraska Tuesday night at home. And Milton's going. Michigan State, Louisville, and St. Louis went up 3 spots. So it's Arizona, UConn, Michigan. Michigan, man, I love it. 18-1, 3rd in the country. Duke went up 1-4. Nebraska up 2-5. Gonzaga up 2-6. They're 21-1. Michigan State up 3. They're 18-2. Iowa State is up 1-8. Illinois went from 11-9. They're 17-3. Houston dropped from 6-10. They're 17-2. Texas Tech beat Houston. They went up 1-11. So they beat Houston, but they didn't. I don't know why you don't jump them if you beat them. Purdue went from 4-12. BYU 13th, wasn't ranked. Kansas went from 19-14. Arkansas went from 20-15. UNC went from 22-16. I still don't think they're that good a team. UVA went from 14-17. Vandy went from 15-18. Florida went from 16-19. Louisville, it's Louisville, St. Louis, Clemson, Bama, Miami of Ohio, and St. John's in for the first time. Pretty cool, right? Watch the UFC fights. Well, nice watch on Paramount. I didn't have to do anything. UFC 24. Pressure fighters make world champions. I don't disagree. Who said that? The former champ. Who's the UFC commentator? God damn it. I see his name. I want to say David Navarro, but I'm no UFC commentators. Daniel Cormier says, pressure fighters make world champions. Gaethje, 2 eye pokes during the fight against Patty, who came in on a 9. He never lost in the UFC. 9-match win streak. Patty at the end of the 3rd round said my round. Gaethje, nothing. Honestly, Patty's face was all fucked up, and Gaethje looked like nothing. Basically unmarked. Gaethje just kept coming forward. 9-match win streak over. First UFC loss. Both got $100,000 bonuses. They were saying they didn't go to the ground. It was just 2 guys standing and punching. That's what someone said, that there wasn't a lot of. And Gaethje's 38, so Patty said he's going to have to work harder to get better, and we'll see if that happens. So, but yeah, that was kind of crazy, and it was a good fight. I had a good time watching. I really did. It was a lot of fun. So, this is from Vince Z. Mercoglanio. Said first New York Rangers Isles trades could be happening since 2010 when the Rangers acquired Yuri Niemi in exchange for 6th-round draft pick. And supposedly Carson Soucy against the Bruins tonight expect him to be held out for roster management, and he could be traded to the Islanders. Hasn't happened since 2010. Thank you, Victor C. Mercogliano. I like that. Connor McDavid has $1.4 million followers on Twitter. Connor's story from Heated Rivalry is 1.6. Adam Laskaris, and they're supposedly making a musical on Heated Rivalry. A musical. I'm like, guys, come on. And I saw this about Albert Mejia, 13-year-old Venezuelan prospect, 2030 class from the Yankees Report. Pre-arrangement with record-setting $7 million deal, $6.4 million signing bonus, $600,000 education scholarship. Can sign at 16. He's only 13. One international scout said the best in the history of the international market could play in a pro league now. At his age, no one does what he does. Now he's 13. I'd have to see it to believe, but that's what they're saying. I mean, he could get older. He could, I just feel like we're talking about so many years. He can't even be signed till he's 16, and he couldn't play until what's the minimum age of what's MLB minimum age? What is the MLB minimum age? MLB minimum. Is there a minimum age? Minimum age. Debut between 18 and 20. Youngest ever was 15-year-old Joe Nuxel in 1944. For 17-year-olds, those players signed 18 or younger face longer pro development before MLB eligibility. They can be drafted out of high school. Players signed at 18 or younger must be on a 40-man roster within 5 years and become a Rule 5 eligible, while those 19 plus have 4 years. Eli Willits, 17, drafted first overall, show that top prospect can debut young, but it's exceptional. Eli Willits. Let me look up Eli Willits. See where's Eli Willits? Shortstop for the Washington. I guess he's going to be the guy playing this year, right? Yeah, he played in Level A. Oh, yeah, he's not coming up he's not coming up yet. I was like, what is that? So Albert Mejia, time will tell. Alcaraz busted for wearing a whoop. at the Aussie Open, and my watch my Oura ring keeps dying fast. So I'm like, I said, and they send you a refurbished one. I'm like, fuck, I don't want a refurbished ring. I want a new ring. Netflix, Alex Honnold, free solo, 101 story Taipei building in an hour and 35 minutes. Free 101. I wouldn't even want to. Michigan show. We were watching Wheel of Fortune. People had a dinner where they were over. They were out in the middle of a. I'm getting chills thinking about it. In the middle of outside of a building, like on a. I don't. Yeah. No. Harrison Bader, 2 years, $20.5 million with the Giants. He hit last year 12 home runs, 30 RBIs, 258. They said the Yankees were going to go after him, but they signed Cody, so not going to happen. With the Phillies in 50 games, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, 305 batting average. And Jay's kids are selling Girl Scout cookies. So they did a little sales pitch to us yesterday, which went very well. And of course, we got cookies. Michigan maybe lasagna yesterday, and tonight you have the Knicks playing against the football. One more game. I mean, you got some all-star games for college, but one more football game. Football's over. Really sucks. Tonight, Pacers, Hawks played, I guess, because of the snow. Hawks beat the Pacers 132-116, and I was like, oh, okay, good for them. So the Hawks are 23-25. And the Knicks Kings tomorrow night. The Rangers are playing the Bruins. Bruins are 30-20-2 for 62 points. The Rangers are 21-25-6 for 48. They suck. We're going to Florida on Wednesday. Washington, and it's going to be 60s there instead of 20s here. Yeah, my clients didn't want to. It's so fun. Yeah. So I'm like home, and I'm like, what do I do? So I was like, you know what? I'm doing laundry because Michigan was going to bring dirty clothes down to Florida, and I was like, you know what? And I hate the laundry room here, but everything. I had my best day ever. Everything dried, everything clean, everything dried. It was like beautiful. Washington's beating Rutgers in women's college basketball. Rutgers, man, the women's team used to be great, 9-10. Washington women are 15-4. LIU's playing Anchorage, Alaska, 11 o'clock on Tuesday night. I guess it's not a school night, huh? And we have Coco Golf tonight at 3 a.m. against Svitolina and Sabalenka versus Jovic. Coco's at 3 a.m. And I was watching what was it, Anisimova? How do you say her name? I always butcher her name. So I was watching a little tennis yesterday. No. It was Pagula beat Keys, the defending champion, in straight sets in the fourth round, and Anisimova beat Wang in 7-6, 4-6. We watched the end of that match, and today Swiatek beat Inglis from Australia 6-0, 6-3 to go into the quarterfinals. So we'll see. I guess Sabalenka could go against Coco. Is Coco in the Coco? The Coco Bean. And I was looking at Australian Open men. So I've been watching some of that too. The Australian Open men. It is boiling there. The Australian Open tennis tournament. Now I want to see men's singles. Shelton is. All right. Fourth round. Shelton made the quarterfinals. He beat Ruud 3-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6. I watched him the other night. Mensik is going against Djokovic in the fourth round, and Sinner beat Darderi in 3 sets, 7-2 in the tiebreaker in the third set. Yeah, so like you can't wear devices. The Whoop you can't wear. So Sabalenka got busted too. Tennis greats were asked to remove their fitness, to remove his Whoop. Asked them to remove and Alcaraz obliged, taking the strap from his wrist. You're not allowed to play with a Whoop watch here or anything that monitors your vitals. Why? Yeah. Will Ahmed, who hit back at suggestions that technology should be banned across all elite. No. Whoop is approved by the International Tennis Federation for in-match wear and poses no safety risk. Let the athletes measure their body's data. Data is not steroids. 100%. Footage also emerged of a second instance of Sabalenka was told by an operator to ditch the device prior to one of her matches early on. complied with the instruction to move their whoop, but they looked disappointed as they sheepishly popped the gadgets in their bag. They missed out on key performance data that Whoop gathers, such as step count, heart rate, and body exertion, used to calculate the device's all-important recovery score. Yeah, Todd Woodbridge and Leighton Hewitt both said, "I'm not sure what the ITF are doing well at the moment anyway." They had a horror with Davis Cup, and now this, and making new rules. Yeah, we can't have. Why can't you have your own data? I don't understand these rules. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes our rules in tennis, one rule is over here, and the other one says no. Can we get our rules the same? Yeah, I don't understand it. Wearables are currently not permitted. There are certain openings involved in ongoing discussions on the situation. It's just, yeah. Some wearables provide athletes with an indication of internal load, which can give them a 360-degree view of the work they're doing and how their bodies respond. Yeah, it doesn't. Screenless devices that track, yeah, like even if I wore this, it doesn't. I have to get to my watch to see anything. Yeah. A fundamental right to understand their own performance and health. I agree. Yeah, yeah. English cricket captain Ben Stokes wore a whoop on his wrist during the recent Ashes campaign, and Australia's Steve Smith has worn the device on his upper arm during test matches. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could see communicate with external parties. Like, I guess I couldn't wear the Apple Watch because that was one thing. Yeah. I don't get it. Wow. So Sabalenka broke Djokovic's record for the most consecutive tie breaks won at Grand Slams, 20. She'll take on Eva Jovic in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, so Anna Samova is going to get Pagula in the quarterfinals. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Eunice Corposola has been sensational since the beginning of 2026 with a 4-0. Oh. Yeah. Shador. So, yeah. I can't get over that. Yeah. Yes, I'm live right now, talking to myself, which is what I always do anyway. Did I miss anything else? Let me see if I missed anything else. I had a couple pictures I wanted to look at, but overall, snow came, saw, and conquered. Yeah. Rivers withdraws from Bill. Shador replaces May. Arizona. Udinsky eyes Bill's head coach job, has Jags deal. Giants seeing Bader for 2 years, 20.5. Bucks don't offer timetable for Giannis' return. Moran's out. John Morant's out. Sources: Chargers. Tart reached 3-year extension. Who is Tart? Defensive tackle Tierre Tart, 3-year contract worth up to $37.5 million, $20 million guaranteed. Bolt up on Monday morning. They lost Puna Ford into the Rams in free agency. Was good as a run stopper. He had 12 run stops, which ranked 7th in the NFL, according to True Media. Next closest Chargers defender was Caldwell, who had 9. All right. He batted a ball in the 16-3 loss to the Patriots. That led to interception. Secured his first sacks in 2024 and 2 tackles for loss among his 4 total tackles. Jesse Minter, they need to do DC. And they got Mike McDaniel as the new OC. All right. Well, that's all good stuff, right? So Shador, it's been a while since the unlikely Super Bowl. And this is a picture that NFL put early in the season. So check this out. Who's at the front of the Super Bowl? See? Look who's at the front. Drake May. Drake May leading the pack. I'm looking for Sam Darnold. Where the hell's Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold's not even in the picture. Yeah. Well, he wasn't up there. Yeah. Interesting. Sam Darnold leading the way with Josh Allen and Baker. Barkley, yep, already home. I thought that was kind of a cool picture. Thank you, Scott Hansen, for posting that. Cool snow picture from the game yesterday. Very cool. I like snow. Thought that was cool. And, this is awesome. 5 schools have produced a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Delaware, Biden and Flacco. Well, Miami of Ohio, Harrison and Big Ben. Michigan, Ford and Brady. Stanford, Hoover, Elway and Plunkett. Navy, Carter and Staubach. And if Drake May wins this year, UNC will be the 6th. James K. Polk. Thank you, Kendall Baker, for that. Did not know. I didn't know Biden went to Delaware. I thought that was crazy. Charlie Goldsmith posted this. Offensive assistant coaches at Texas A&M in 2010. Zach Taylor, who's the coach of Cincy, Dan Campbell, Lions coach, Clint Kubiak, Seattle OC, Troy Waters, Titans running back coach Randy Jordan. The defensive line coach was Terrell Williams, who's currently the Patriots DC. He has been out this season due to a cancer battle. That was the Texas A&M 2010 team. How did Texas A&M do in 2010? Now I'm kind of curious. Texas A&M football 2010. Let's see. Texas A&M 2010 football. Let's see. 9-4. They finished 19th in the final poll. Their head coach was Mike Sherman. They lost the Cotton Bowl 41-24 to LSU. Who was their starting quarterback? Gerard Johnson and Ryan Tannehill. So who else was on the team? There's a couple names in there, but no one that's really popping in my head. Yeah. He's not even. Is Ryan Tannehill out of the league? Ryan Tannehill is out of the league. Yes. That's a blast from the past, huh? Wow. Ryan Tannehill. How I knew you and how I don't know you anymore. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Leonard Taylor III, undrafted in 2024, waived by the Jets in 25, signed a Patriots practice squad in October, appeared in just 5 games this season, and makes the big Leonard Taylor III. Leonard Taylor III. Leonard Taylor III. There he is. Okay. He played his college football for the Hurricanes. He played at the U from 21 through 23 and was undrafted. I guess he got out early. True freshman. Junior in 2022. Yeah, Taylor entered career following the 23 season. Hasn't really done anything, right? Yeah. So now he played in the tipped the ball in the all right. So now he could be playing in a Super Bowl. Or he could be on the bench, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Yes, that was interesting. And also McKenna Cook, who is going to play soccer at Georgia. She became the first female athlete to receive a Division I Power 4 flag football offer, but they said she's going to Georgia to play. She was the Cal Athlete of the Year in soccer. Yeah, so it's McKenna Cook looks like she's going to play soccer at Georgia, but there's a chance she could go do that at. Also, Sean White was in Central Park yesterday on his snowboard. He was incognito. People noticed him, and he took some selfies at the end. Sean White was hanging out in Central Park yesterday. Yeah. Couldn't see anything they said yesterday. They're talking about McCutcheon wants to play another year in baseball. And he said something kind of interesting. This is what he said. I thought this was, he's unsigned right now. And he said, I wonder, did the Cards do this Wainwright, Pujols, Yachty? Do this to Wainwright, Pujols, Yachty? Dodgers to Kershaw, Tigers to Miggy. The list goes on and on. If this is my last year, it would have been nice to meet the fans one last time as a player, talk to them about my appreciation for them over the years, shake that little kid's hand or hug the fan that's been a fan since Clemente. You see, this is bigger than baseball, bigger than looking at a 40-man roster and cherry-picking numbers that fit your agenda or prove why your opinion matters. The fans deserved, at the very least, to get that opportunity. I don't know what the future holds for me at the present moment, but what I do know is though I am 39 on the back end of my career, I still work every day to be better than I was the year before. If there wasn't a burning desire to continue this journey, I would be home surrounded by my family, in which no one would judge or be surprised. But not yet. There's more work to do, and I'm not done no matter what label to you, no matter what label you try to stamp on me. Rip the jersey off of me. You don't get to write my future. God does. Yeah, Josh Rouncy, Pirate fans get a 3-year Andrew McCutcheon reunion tour. That's great, but they never won more than 76 games. I respect what he's meant to this franchise and city, but he's 39. At some point, you have to look at different, better ways to win, even if it means moving on. What does it matter if he takes one spot? I mean, you're not spending money on this fucking roster. And it wasn't like he was terrible last year. What did he do this past year? He's played 12 of his 18 years with the Pirates. Yeah, I have to do what I need to do, show that I was able to have a good year and can still play the following year. He didn't want to just be filling a spot and not contributing. Yeah, he wanted to return for another season. Yeah. What did he do this past year? 239, 333, 330, 367 slugging with 13 home runs over 551 plate appearances, 95 WRC plus. While it's just the second time he's dropped under the WRC plus mark under 100 for league average offense. Most of his StatCast metrics were also average at best, apart from a very strong 12.2 walk rate. That's not numbers you want from a designated hitter in particular. And McCutchen is primarily a DH at this point of his career, with only 20 games played in the outfield during his 2023 through 25 tenure in Pittsburgh. They got Ryan O'Hearn to play DH, who may alternate with Spencer Horwitz between the first base and DH in the lineup. O'Hearn can play the corner outfield, and since O'Hearn and Horwitz are both left-handed hitters, there would seemingly be some roster space for Kutch as a part-time righty bat who is perhaps limited to facing southpaw pitching. They want to improve the team. I hear what he's saying, but numbers are numbers, and sometimes athletes don't get to decide when their career ends. Sometimes they decide for you. So I appreciate what he said. He's still working hard. He still wants to prove that he can play, but yeah. And this is from Michigan. The green is come on, boys. The blue is profanity. What comes out of my mouth at hockey games? Shoot the fucking puck. Shoot the fucking puck. Thought that was hilarious. Saturday, Embiid at 38 points. He's ruled out Monday for injury management, as is Paul George. So he scores 38 on Saturday, lost to the Knicks, and then I just don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, no sense. And from Jed L. Goodman, Dana White tells TMZ he'll be matchmaking the WH card all next week. When he has the top 3 fights, he'll fly to D.C. to meet with Ivanka and Trump, because this is important stuff right now in the world. Thinks by the second week in February, he'll have the whole card dialed in. Calls McGregor, Masvidal, goofy shit. Yeah, can't wait for the White House, because that's all we all want to see. Yes. Yeah, Craig Kimbrell was offered a minor league deal with the Mets. 37-year-old with 440 career saves, ranks 5th all time. Spent last year bouncing between AAA and the majors and the Rangers, Braves, and Astros. 14 appearances, 13 with the Astros, 2.25 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 12 innings. He last closed in 2024, a 5.33 ERA, 23 saves with the Orioles. Yeah, I would say, like McCutchen, not much left. Riley Weiss had 40 points the other day for Columbia, and I sent a thing I wanted her on the show. I think who sent me this? Someone sent me this. Was it Cullum? Dan Rogers, last 4 years in Dallas, most interceptions, 72. First year in Chicago, most interceptions, 23. Trevon Diggs led the NFL in picks, All-Pro. Deron Bland led the NFL picks, All-Pro. Kevin Byard led the NFL in picks, All-Pro. Al Harris, the coach nobody is talking about for the Bears. Yeah. Why is Al Harris not getting the respect? He's like, he's a black coach. Let's just keep talking about Chris Schull and all the rest of the guys. Al Harris. How is Al Harris not getting? He is the defensive back coach and passing coordinator for the Bears. He was a good fucking player. Yeah. I definitely feel like, and he was a damn good player when he played. 194 games. He played in Philly, Green Bay, St. Louis. He started in St. Louis, went to Miami, Green Bay for 7 years, Philly. He had 194 games, 128 games started in 14 years, 21 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 140 pass defense, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. And he had 4 sacks in his career. Guy was a good player. And now he's doing that, and it's like nobody talks about him. I agree. All he does is produce, but I guess it's not enough, right? He just, everywhere he goes, he's good. How about 60-year-old runs a 5:26 mile? This is Michelle Roll, a 3-time Olympian in race walk. He now owns 5 age group world records on the track at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix on January 24th. She ran a 5:26.65, 8th place in the Masters Mile, improving on the previous women's indoor record for ages 60 to 64. Yeah, 5:26. That's crazy, right? That's bonkers. And the Dolphins hired Bobby Slowick, their senior passing game coordinator, as a new OC. The former Texans OC helped C.J. Stroud to a stellar rookie season. They went downhill. He got fired. He goes somewhere else, and it's like, he was the hot coach at one point, Slowick. So now he's going to be the Miami's OC. And who's going to be a quarterback, Tua or Quinn Ewers? Yeah, Arthur Smith is going to be the next offensive coordinator at Ohio State. And I said, well, that's fucking bullshit. Yeah. Multiple head coaching jobs, multiple OCs. You engineered multiple top 10 offenses in the NFL, and now he lands in college, and they said, he's going to be great. No. Arthur Smith sucks. And I don't know what you guys think you're going to do this year, but best of luck with that. And I wish you well. And I don't think anything's good is going to come out of it. But, yeah. And I love that Jose Ramirez has signed a contract extension. He'll stay with Cleveland through 2032. He signed an under-market deal before this. He'll be paid $175 million over the next 7 seasons, $10 million deferred every year. There's a no-trade clause and bonuses for winning and finishing the top 5 in MVP voting. They've been to the playoffs 7 times since 2016, including the past 2 years when he finished 5th and 3rd MVP. Hasn't been as dominant in the playoffs, compiling a 692 OPS in 45 games, but he's easily been the one hitter in the lineup whom opponents have game planned. He signed a 7-year extension before this for $141 million, but he took gave a hometown discount. The deal had 3 years left. They decided to extend it and rework it. He'll get $500,000 if he wins MVP, $300,000 for second or third place, and $50,000 if he finishes 4th or 5th. He gets bonuses for the All-Star team, winning a Gold Glove or Silver Slugger, and for taking home the MVP of the LCS or World Series. He'll get $1 million payments each year beginning in 2036. Oh, the $10 million deferred each year will be payable in 1 million payment each year beginning. No. But if it's $10 million deferred each year, isn't it more than that? Is my math wrong? Because that's what doesn't sound right. He's 33. Yeah. 857 OPS, 285 home runs, 287 stolen bases, and is considered a plus defender at third. You know what? He loves it there. He loves being in Cleveland. He didn't want to go anywhere else. They reworked the deal, and he's like, all right, I'm staying. 100% behind it. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. McCall Bridges was benching 4th after missing 6 straight times, 9 points, 3 for 16, 1 for 9. Nebraska's on track for the first undefeated season in 50 years. It's not happening, but good luck. And Mike McDaniels took the job. Of course he took it. Mike McDaniels did not want the Browns job. Yeah, did a short show yesterday. Oh, how about this? Maryland under Texas A&M coach Buzz Williams lost to Michigan State on Saturday by 44. They're 8-12, 1-8 in the Big Ten. A&M under Bucky McMillan beat South Carolina by 23 Saturday, 16-4, 6-1 in the SEC. Bucky ball better than Buzzkill. Kevin Skarbinski, you are not incorrect. For the first time in their second-tier history, 3 consecutive away wins for Wrexham. Now, Wrexham, check this out. Wrexham Soccer, which I wanted to talk about. Wrexham Soccer is Yes. Yay. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yay. Yay. Good. All right. That's awesome. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you, Michigan. But Wrexham Soccer is playing out of their fucking minds. So Wrexham is playing beat QPR 3-2 on Saturday, and they are now, and they tied. They beat Leicester. They beat Leicester full time. Oh, Leicester City is in the. Where is Leicester in this? Who used to be in the Premier League? Are they ahead of Leicester? No, they can't be. Can they? Yeah. So Wrexham right now is 6th, and they are, I think, the top 3 play for promotion. They are 6 points out. They are 11 wins, 7 losses, and 11 draws. And they play next. Who do they play next? They play. Oh, they have the FA. Wait a minute. What's going on here? They play Saturday, Sheffield Wednesday, which I don't think is as good as. I think Sheffield Wednesday is at the bottom of the Sheffield Wednesday. Yes, which is the worst team in the. They are minus. Wow, is that true? They're -7. They have. Oh my God, 119-8. They're -7 in points. I guess they're dropping. So that should be. And these points keep adding up. Good things can happen to Wrexham. I kind of like it. Yeah, I want to see. Did I miss anything else? Because I can just read all my cards. I think that's enough for today. I had a trivia question. Oh yeah, Dale was wearing a great hat. I said, Dale, great hat. You look good. Yeah, it should be your everyday. It should be your everyday hat there. It should be your every yeah. He said he's taking his first vacation in forever. I was like, and then he went to a show from the beach. I said, yeah, yeah. So he's great. I love Dale. Dale's a great guy. But the basketball men's team lost. Uh, Oregon. Let me look up Big Ten basketball standings. They are not having a good Big Ten basketball standings. Here we go. Nebraska is ahead of Michigan, Michigan State, and Illinois, and Oregon is 1-8 in the conference, 8-12 overall. Yeah, not a good year for the men's. And the women's team was supposed to be better. Women's Big Ten standing. Women's Big. That's what we're talking about. Big Ten basketball standings. So Iowa is 9-0, UCLA is 9-0, and Oregon is 3-9, 3-6 in the conference. Yikes! Not good. Not good. And they are 15-7 overall. So they're USC lost. Who's the USC? USC. They're 3-6 in the conference. USC women's basketball. Star women's basketball. I'm thinking of injured player. Injured. Yeah, Juju Watkins. So they're having a down year. Okay. So last show's trivia question was, let me find it because no one answered it last show, and I'm fine with that. Let me see. Okay. Who was the first team in NFL history to lose by 3 points or fewer in the playoffs in 3 straight seasons? Bills, 2023-24 lost by 3 to Kansas City and lost by 3 to Denver this year. Today's trivia question is, get rid of that. Okay. Let's kind of give it away. All right. Tommy was here. I'd let him answer it, but let's do a Ranger question because the Rangers are playing tonight. I don't think anybody's going to get this right, but that's fine with me. Today's trivia question is which Ranger recorded the most multi-goal games at age 20 or younger? This is Cadillac trivia question. Which Ranger recorded the most multi-goal games at age 20 or younger? Thank you. Daniel, it was good talking to you yesterday during the game. I also talked to my cousin Teddy. Dale, have a great trip. Gumbo Chef is home. He said he'd adopt me, but he said I'd have to shovel. I'm glad my mom is okay out in Jersey. Hope everybody. And we're going to Florida on Wednesday. But I'm reading the Sam Pope books. I am in the book 5. Just finished another forward. I love it. And I'll hopefully do a show tomorrow. And have a great day, everybody. Peace out. Talk to you soon. Adios.